This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
You all ready for this? Dun 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 dun.
This is a sham.
No. Nope.
Y'all, just stop.
Welcome to DBL. It's Wednesday, October 27th. We got to hump day. That's good. I'm here with Erica and Al. I'm Tori. How y'all doing?
All right.
Good. Do I have chocolate in my teeth? Because Al's been supplying us with trick-or-treating candy.
You're making us fat, Al. Yeah. You're making us all fat.
Quick confession that I took that from the box that we give to the Amazon drivers. Yeah, no, I got to replenish it when I get home. I'm sorry. It was in my face. It was a take five.
Take five. All right. Well, we've got a quick update on this story we've been following about the shooting, of course, on Alec Baldwin's movie Rust that killed the cinematographer Helena Hutchins. So the gaffer, or the electrician on the film, who you see here alongside Helena, is talking about the incident on Facebook. He says he worked with her on almost all of her films and said he held her in her arms, his arms, while she was dying. He also posted this picture saying it is the last photo with Helena on set. You can see Alec in the background. This is the scene they were just filming in the church. Remember, right before the shooting. Wow. The district attorney of New Mexico commented on the ongoing investigation, telling the New York Times that criminal charges are possible and that authorities haven't ruled anything out. I also got an update on this man. He is a veteran prop master. His name is Neil Zaromsky. He turned down the role of prop master because he said they offered it as an armorer and a prop master in one, and he would never take a job like that. He said that Rust was too much of a, quote, slapdash production, one with an overriding focus on saving money instead of a concern for people's safety. Ultimately said, I pressed that send on that email saying I didn't want the job, and in my pit of my stomach, I said, this is an accident waiting to happen.
I mean, it makes sense, Erica. I mean, as somebody that's, I've worked on shows where I've hosted things before, and, I think about not the Alec Baldwin's, he's fine financially, but a lot of shows that I did where I was scared to do something, like I had to do something in Jamaica with alligators I was not comfortable with. I had to jump off of something in Vegas I was not comfortable with. I later found out it wasn't a great idea. But there's things that you do, especially kind of where internet's over everything, where you're like, I needed this because this is roof money. Yeah. So I think about how many people didn't have the luxury to push send and say, I don't want this job, because they had to take that job.
Yeah, this is just so hard to hear, because when you think about, the account of holding her while she died, the fact that he had worked on every project together, like, this is residual trauma for everyone who's involved. And when you hear this, like you said, it's not surprising that people are coming forward and saying, if you're someone who, is a seasoned veteran person, and you're saying this is an accident waiting to happen, what's now your next? Because I guarantee this person has lost sleep over the idea of maybe not blowing the whistle if there was a whistle to blow.
Right.
So, I think at this point, when we're talking about things that can result in fatalities, there should not be an option to do it on a shoestring budget. And I think that's where we are right now.
That's exactly where we are. We did want to let you know, was it the DA, Michael Dean, that we heard from? They found a mix of live and blanks, 500 rounds of ammunition.
The saddest thing is, it seems like from everything that's leaking out that people knew. Yeah. It wasn't just like a mistake and this just happened.
They walked off the set.
This was happening in real time, and this was just the culmination of what seems to be a series of events that started with the hiring process.
Yeah, the whole thing is interesting. Let us know what you guys think on YouTube or our app or dailyblastlive.com. All right, Halloween is this weekend. Woo!
Yay!
Anyone? Woo! Right here at DBL, we are celebrating this Friday. Okay. We are all dressing up, so be sure to tune in to see who we are. We're so excited about this. But speaking of dressing up, some elementary schools in upstate New York are banning Squid Game Halloween costumes. One of the principals sent a letter explaining that costumes like these are banned due to concerns about the potential violent nature of the game. Now, in the hit Netflix show, contestants compete in children's games like Red Light, Green Light for a large cash prize, but their lives are on the line. So what are your thoughts on kids dressing up in costumes from violent TV shows or movies. Just to give you more info and context, the kids were playing Squid Game at this school, red light, green light, children's games that are appropriate, but they were playing it as Squid Games. They also have banned Friday the 13th, the Scream mask, and like Freddy Krueger.
Anything else from the early 90s?
I was going to say anything that's scary, they're banning. So what do you guys think? I think this is crazy. Am I wrong? I'm not a parent.
Erica, talk to me, and then I'll tell you what my opinion is.
Well, I'm not a parent either, but we have a host of niece, nephews, and godchildren. And at first, when I heard the story, I was like, well, that seems a little ridiculous that they're doing a specific franchise.
Right.
But then the truth is that most schools will not allow Halloween costumes that have come from violent imagery or violent, franchises and stuff. I think the interesting thing about Squid Games, too, is that costume, if you didn't know the show, wouldn't be inherently something that you'd be like, oh, that should be banned.
Right.
So I think that might be the reason why that's getting a little bit more attention than like. I couldn't think of anything other than Freddy Krueger.
That's all I can think of. I'm so bad with it.
Welcome to Dated References.
Michael. What's his name? Michael?
Michael Myers?
Yeah, Michael Myers.
Okay, yeah. I honestly just think we're talking about this, and the fact that we're talking about us lets us know that the kids are on something else. Like the stuff we think we know about, we don't. All right, so like whatever they're actually doing, whatever they're actually into, they probably have another account that shows that they probably have things on their computer to prevent you from finding what they're looking at. So the fact that we're wasting time on Squid Game, they're like, you would really freak out if you knew what I was really
Okay, Boomer. Can I ask you a question, though? Would you let your kids dress up as Squid Game?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, interesting. Let us know what you guys think.
Telling kids no does not work. You need to reason with them and be like, this is my thought behind this.
Interesting.
And this is why. But telling them no, they're like, all right, I'll see you Saturday night when you go to sleep, old man. Yeah.
Okay, keeping with this theme about kids, some moms are upset with the company doing school photos for their kids because they say they're encouraging parents to pay $12 to have their kids' photos digitally retouched. One mom posted this before and after photo. Oh man, they took off her freckles.
Well, also, is that the same kid?
Yeah, it's the 12-year-old kid's freckles were removed in the touched-up photo. Another mom told the New York Post, quote, it's teaching kids that they need to look perfect all the time and that they can change with the click of a mouse.
Well, first of all, you are perfect with your freckles because that's how you were made, okay?
Yes.
But that's ridiculous. Now, I personally am not against retouching children's photos because y'all have all seen the photos of the kids before and after, like the way they were sent to school for picture day and the way they return home. And like if pictures are a little later in the day, then there's a lot that happens after PE or whatever they're doing.
Right.
That parents are like, I didn't spend all this money for you to look like you just rolled out of bed. I personally would have appreciated some retouching on my pictures from school because being one of the only like less than 10 children of color in my school, I always had pictures come back with a full mustache because the lighting was so off.
Wow.
So yeah, I would have appreciated that. But when you're taking actual characteristics and things off of children's faces, that's not a good look.
I just looked at it like lazy editing. Honestly, like that was just like 100%. They moved the bar all the way over. Like, look, you can retouch a little bit, but Erica, I like the crazy pictures. The crazy pictures from school, the half eye blink,
the mullet,
the look away, the like you can tell they started crying a millisecond before like those are the ones you keep forever. So I get the little retouching, but I don't want perfect kid pictures. That's weird.
I agree. And let me just say this out loud. A girl or boy without freckles is like a day without sunshine. Coming up on DBL. What?
That's not a saying, but you laid it out like you were Langston Hughes.
I have it on a pillow.
It's not. No one's ever said that.
I've seen it on a pillow. I've seen it on a pillow. Our interview with celebrity, it's on a pillow. Celebrity trainer Gunnar Peterson, he's telling us how the stars staying fit at home and how you can too. And a new study reveals men are just as emotional as women. And we're going to chat about that coming up next.
Closed captioning provided by
Yeah, I had this weird thing the other day. You remember like there used to be like when we were kids, you would hear people say, "Oh, my mom or my dad caught me doing this," or I got. Like, you don't hear kids saying that.
They don't get caught, you think?
I don't think they get caught doing anything.
Oh, man.
Because most parents, I think, are. Like, I think we consider ourselves like internet savvy, but not to a 15-year-old that's grown up with it. So, like, they have fake accounts, they have dummy accounts, they have email addresses, they cover their cookies, however you do that.
They cover their cookies.
Yeah, but like, you just don't, you really hear people say, yeah, I caught my daughter doing this.
Okay.
Like, I'm sure your daughter has Instagram, but then she's got to fin stuff.
And
But
just tell me what
here's
you're
the
just play
thing,
it by
though.
ear. We'll just dance.
You may
Okay.
not hear people saying, I caught my child doing X, Y, and
Kelly,
Z, but by the time they are caught, it's so
put up
much
the poll
more
too quick.
egregious
It's
than
been like
like
second and now-
anything that
Yeah.
we grew up with.
On YouTube.
Because
can't get back
they're
into it,
masterminds
so people are
at
saying
that
it's
point.
too, the window is too
So
quick.
I think, yeah, if you have a situation where I would definitely have like some type of, if I had children, a cyber security something. I mean, we have one anyway, but I would have it like to
Right.
make sure that
You have to, because you can't just be like, look, I look at Erica's profile, it's her picking flowers. It's like, that
Yeah.
might not be her only. People are like, you can do that?
Some comments.
Yeah,
and photo
it's,
right
y'all
Uh,
down with the
here.
sparkling water because
I've been looking at it. I went to Target yesterday on a sparkling water run and got a bunch of new flavors.
That's nice.
They didn't have any Topo Chico.
Really?
Yeah, it's getting
I've
to
been
the point.
hearing there's a shortage.
It's a shortage.
Everyone and their mother is into Topo Chico.
And I had a ton of grapefruit too.
Why is it so good?
Hard seltzer Topo Chico.
No, I saw a guy walking down the street
Why
with a hard
is it
seltzer
that
one.
good? Sierra, are you
I don't
having it
drink.
as well?
Yeah.
Isn't it just
Thanks,
seltzer?
Trey.
But isn't it just like any other seltzer?
Yeah, but you can mix it with anything you want, so it doesn't have like
I also think hard
Do it
seltzer.
for the next show.
like the grapefruit one.
Al slays me. Welcome back to DBL. So who do you think are more emotional, men or women? Quick. What do you
Men.
think? Whoa, interesting.
I really do think that.
All right, well, a new study agrees with you from the University of Michigan, Go Blue, alma mater, found out that men are just as emotional as women. They followed a group of 142 men and women over 75 days. They found little to no emotional differences between male and female groups. And of course, this is always why women can't be president, women can't be politicians, because they get emotional, they get on their period, and they start a war. But all wars, most of them have been started by men in the first place.
I won't say all of them have. Yeah.
So how do you feel about this, hearing this study?
I mean, I'd look at what I can see, as corny as that sounds, and I'd look at, especially morning TV, you look at ESPN, Erica, I don't know if we can mention their shows, they have shows like First Take and their debate shows. It's not sports, they're not talking about rebounds and all, they're talking about, is Tom Brady mad at Bill Belichick? Will LeBron James feel some type of way about going back to Cleveland and playing? Those are emotions. Those men are crying at the end of games. Have you ever watched a Packers fan watch a game? You're dressed like one.
All right.
It's like men are throwing
Got it.
shoes. Guys are yelling at the screen.
Yeah.
Some guys got to watch it in the basement.
Right.
Yeah.
But we don't call it being emotional when
Right.
it comes to men. We call that passion.
Fired up.
We only call it emotional when it comes to women. And then also, a lot of men are emotionally stunted. So it doesn't come out as like the soft, like vulnerability. It comes out a lot of times as aggression.
Right.
And to be honest, I don't find that to be any fault of anyone personally. I find it to be society's fault for having boys never cry or examine their emotions. So, no, I am not surprised that men are just emotional, if not more emotional.
And I just
than
had
women.
another thought as you were talking. Take a show that's, air quotes, aimed at women like The Bachelor, Bachelorette, which are supposed to be emotional, but I would say that show is more strategic. It's more about like, okay, I'm not the number one girl, so we need to buddy up, get her out of here, and then our group can maybe move in.
There's no emotions in The Bachelor.
It's
Yeah.
very tactical.
Yeah, there's no emotional.
But
When
it's
you
under
see
the guys.
Bachelorette,
Right.
the guys
The
are
guys.
like throwing things, jumping over buildings.
Remember he
like,
jumped over the railing?
you can do
Yeah.
it
That guy jumped the fence.
Yeah.
We're like, now I will also say the word hysteria, if you guys don't know, which is interesting, I researched this, comes from like hysterectomy, women's reproductive parts. So emotional language is based off of language that comes from women's productive parts saying you're hysterical, coming from your Latin parts. I think that's so interesting the way language is used, don't you?
Tell us more about our Latin parts.
I was about to say, it's a weird way to go. Right at the end, we just dive into a Latin lesson.
Go Packers! Coming up on DBL, fitness trainer to the stars Gunnar Peterson joins us. He tells you how you can stay fit at home like your favorite celebrities.
When it comes to mass shootings, there is no universally accepted definition of a mass shooting. Different agencies define it based on different criteria. USA Today reports from 2006 to 2018, Idaho and Hawaii were the only states in the country to not have a mass shooting. But how did they determine that? What constitutes as a mass shooting? And does Monday's deadly mall shooting change those findings? Let's verify. Our sources are the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the Congressional Research Service, and the Violence Project, as well as news magazine Mother Jones. The Congressional Research Service defines mass shootings as a multiple homicide incident in which 4 or more victims are murdered with firearms, not including the offender or offenders within one event. The FBI definition is essentially the same. The agency defines a mass shooting as any incident in which at least 4 people are murdered with a gun. Mother Jones tracks mass shootings in a national database using FBI data dating back to 1982. But Mother Jones also includes attacks dating from January 2013, in which 3 or more victims were killed. This after President Obama authorized a mandate lowering that baseline to 3 or more victims killed for federal investigations of mass shootings. Additional criteria for mass shootings state the shootings happen in a single location that is considered a public place. So while Monday's deadly shooting at the Boise Town Square Mall won't be logged as a mass shooting, based on this criteria, it will forever be seen and felt as a tragedy here in Idaho.
Welcome back to DBL. From Charlize Theron to Billy D. Williams, he's trained some of the biggest celebs in the biz. Hollywood trainer Gunnar Peterson joined us earlier and gave us his at-home workout tips. Check it out.
Yes.
Yes.
You know, when this madness clears up, I'm coming down there. We're all getting after it.
Yes.
I'm here.
Oh my
and
God.
I'm excited until he's like, all right,
we're
10
gonna
burpees, and I'm like, uh-oh.
Hold you to that, Gunnar. Yes, we are. So you gotta give us the inside tips that keep celebs fit at home. How can our viewers stay in shape in their living rooms?
They have to be consistent with it. I don't care where you're doing it. If you're taking yourself to the woodshed or if you're in your living room, you just have to be consistent. A little bit all the time is so much better than a lot every now and then.
Wow.
If they're consistent, that's what the big names do.
Who goes to the woodshed?
That means like going after it.
Oh, I thought,
Like,
I thought
what
it sounded
happens
like
in the
Fargo.
woodshed?
I thought people had like makeshift gyms in a woodshed.
Oh, Sam. Literal
Gunnar,
Sam.
I apologize. I'm very literal.
Sorry, I didn't know it was literal hour. My bad.
Wow. I'm glad we have a fitness expert here because I've always wondered this about presidents. Obviously, The Rock is talking about running for president, and I'm wondering what you would give his workout routine if he was the president every day. But also, what workout routine would you give like a president that's like in his late 60s and stressed and busy, but you know he's still the president? You got to work out, right?
What a
He
weird
does,
question.
and I think they do. I mean, I think Obama was a notorious workout
sir.
guy, and George W. was a runner, and they all have their stress relieving moments. And I think if Dwayne Johnson wants to run for president, I'm not getting in his way. And I would say is whatever he's doing now is working just fine for his workouts. And if there's somebody else you said coming in a little older, I put them, it's a walk before, literal and figurative. It's a walk before you run mentality. gear up and just be consistent with it. That's what's going to get you there for everybody.
Would you vote for him? You know him. Do you think he'd be a good candidate, or do you think he should stick to acting?
Hey, so here's an interesting rule I have in the gym. We don't talk politics or religion. I let you run with it, and I just go, no problem. Great idea. Interesting. Hadn't thought of that. But I would never commit to that.
That's
but
smart.
I vote for him.
Wow.
Wait, what?
That's really smart.
I like how he broke down literal and figurative.
Just for saying.
Yeah, I need it. Sorry.
All right, we got to talk about stereotypical body types. I'm more of an apple, like pears and apples, but there's certain ones portrayed in Hollywood, the popping blood vessels, the enormous muscles.
Excuse me?
I know, it's in the prompter. We want to know, what do you think the ideal body type is? Is there one, Gunnar?
So I would say this. If you're happy with how you look, you're winning. And I've seen people they have, let's just use the PC term, less than an ideal physique, who are in love with themselves. They love their body. They use the mirrors more than any other equipment in the gym. And I think I've seen other people who are dialed, what anybody else would consider a perfect body, who are always trying to reshape, tweak, improve. I think the other person who's happy is winning. I think if you're, not that you have to be complacent, but I think if you're comfortable in your own skin, then you're winning long term. And
love that.
What's that look like to you? And if you want those bulging and all that stuff, we can work on dialing that in.
That looked good on you, Tori.
I think so.
Let's talk about your new venture, Lung Zone. Tell us about the program and how people can get involved.
So I'm here on behalf of Santa Fe and Regeneron, and there's joinlungzone.com, which is specifically geared towards people with moderate to severe asthma, and it gives you a place, it gives you a community to go. I have some Get Moving classes on there, which fun, definitely a way to get into fitness and to get back into fitness. We're at that literal and figurative walk and run thing. There are also strength movements incorporated in that, because you have to incorporate the strength with the cardio, with the flexibility, stability. All these things have to dovetail into a comprehensive workout program, and this is a great place for people to go and use the resources there, so they don't feel, getting on a fitness program for anybody with or without asthma can be daunting. So here's a place for people, imagine with asthma, it's even a little more so. Here's a place where they can go and know that they're being led by people who have factored in their condition, and they're gonna come out on the other side of this in a big way.
I love that.
That's unbelievable.
I know.
That is unbelievable.
Gunnar, you fit right in here. You really do. Thanks for chatting with us. And to our viewers, if you have moderate to severe asthma and are looking for exercise routines, check out joinlungzone.com to put your lungs first. Thank you so much, Gunnar. We'll be right back.
Thanks, brother.
Wow.
Thank you, guys.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
programs have launched or are about to start in Arlington and Alexandria. Even DC has looked at it, so let's get you familiar with Universal Basic Income. To understand Universal Basic Income, or UBI, we went to Ben Giddis, an associate director from the Bipartisan Policy Center's Economic Policy Project. We went to Elaine Mogg, a researcher from the Tax Policy Center at the Urban Institute, and then several studies on UBI in the real world. So first, what is Universal Basic Income?
So basic income is the idea that every person in the country will have some standard of living provided to them.
So instead of having a number of different programs folks would go to, there would be one check that goes out to every single person. That would be their source of federal or government support.
The idea is that universal basic income could soften the burden of the rising costs of living in the United States and actually encourage more work. Which is another question a lot of people ask. Wouldn't that just discourage people from working if they're getting free money? Here our experts disagree. Ben Giddis says UBI's goal is to get more people into the workforce and build careers, but
universal basic income at best does not help us achieve those objectives because we're simply giving people money.
While Elaine Mogg sees something else.
In Stockton, they found actually the benefit encouraged people to go to work even though it wasn't based on work.
Which leads us to, does it work? Currently, the largest study was a 2-year program in Stockton, California. Here, the city gave an extra $500 a month to 125 residents for 2 years.
And what they found is that people who got the full benefit we're more likely to increase the work hours.
But
there haven't been really any large-scale implementations of a universal basic income that would be insightful for U.S. federal policy for implementing that.
which is why the pilot programs in Arlington, Alexandria, and now Montgomery County will be so important going forward. Today, the city of Chicago will be voting on one of the largest universal basic income programs. If it passes, 5,000 families will get an extra $500 a month. But as you heard our experts explain, that's the only way to really see if these programs work, because everything else is theoretical until it hits the real world. With your Verify, I'm Matt Gregory.
Welcome back to DBL. It's open enrollment season, and signing up for healthcare does not have to be confusing. It's time for some helpful healthcare tips presented by Health Markets, your insurance marketplace. So HMOs and PPOs are two types of popular health plans. HMO plans tend to have a strict network of providers that your insurance will cover, while PPO plans will cover costs of out-of-network providers. Deductible and premiums are separate costs that come out of your pocket. Premiums are the monthly payment that you have to make for your plan, and the deductible is the maximum out-of-pocket expenses that you're responsible for before your insurance kicks in. So finding a plan with a lower deductible could save you a lot of money. Health Markets can help you find a plan in minutes. Just call 1-800-390-9633 or log on to healthmarkets.com. Good to know. Before we go, though, you have to see this. The CEO of Spanx, I love this woman, celebrated selling a majority stake of her company for $1.2 billion by giving her staff 2 first-class tickets to anywhere in the world. But that ain't all. Take a look.
You know, if you go on a trip, you might have to, you might want to go out to a really nice dinner. You might want to go out to a really nice hotel. And so, with everybody's 2 first-class tickets to anywhere in the world, you are each getting $10,000.
Bosses? Yes. Are we getting that?
I love that. You know, people need to feel like they're appreciated and they're looked out for. I mean, if I had my own company and I have a tiny company, I try to treat people who work for me well.
Erica for president.
And she also created Spanx in her basement. That's how amazing this woman is. DBL's new every day. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place.